Hi students. So in the previous session already we have completed in that second chapter partnership basic fundamentals. So in that concept in that chapter already we have learned different concepts like profit and loss appropriation account, again on the basis of guarantee of profit to a partner, as well as product method in the different interval periods of time on the basis of quarterly beginning as well as quarterly end. And also we are prepared partners capital account as well as current account in the capital system. So all these things we are discussed in the previous chapter. So as per that chapter we are completed. So in this session we will start the next chapter. The next chapter, this is what? Accounting for the share capital. The new chapter, this is what? Accounting for the share capital. So first of all, as per our syllabus, there are two parts, part 1 and part 2. In that part 2, the first chapter, accounting for share capital. So let me know the meaning of first before. First of all, what is company? So here accounting for share capital, the shares are issued in company only, right? So before that going problems, first we need to know the meaning of company and what are the various features of company. So all these things now we will discuss in this session. So come back here. The first thing, the meaning of company. First of all, a company is an artificial person. A company is an artificial person because of they can't be able to do their work at its own. So here a company is an artificial person having corporate legal entity. Having corporate legal entity distinct from its members. It's separate from its members. So here the members means nothing but shareholders. This is what distinct from its members as a common seal for its signature. So in the business organization, the company is using its signature as a common seal because it is an artificial person, right? That's why they are not able to do their work. That's why whatever the signature in the business, on that signature we can use as for its signature only. So this is what official signature. The signature wherever it's necessary on the day we can use this common seal. The seal is called as signature. So this is what meaning of a company. So company is an artificial person having corporate legal entity distinct from its members. Your members is nothing but shareholders only. And so is a common seal for its signature. Each and every company using its seal. The seal, this is used as a signature of the company. So in other words, we can use one more definition for. So here a company is an association of persons. It including number of persons. It is an association of persons. In this business organization, associating number of members. Used members are associating. So here who contribute money or money's worth. So in this business organization, the number of members are used. That persons maybe contribute monies or money's worth. Money's worth means mere money assets they can invest to the business organization. So here a company is an association of persons who contribute money or money's worth to a common stock. To a common stock and use it for a common purpose only. So whatever the monies or money's worth assets they are investing into the business, all these things they are using for that common purpose. The main purpose is only one thing. For that purpose only we need to use either monies or money's worth to a common stock in the business organization. This is what meaning for a company. So let me know once again. A company is an association of persons having corporate legal entity distinct from its members. So here members means nothing but shareholders in the business organization, and as a common seal is used for a signature. The common seal, whatever the common seal in the business, that seal they are using for its signature in the business organization. So this is what meaning of a company. So this is what related to 2 mark question. What is a company means? Easily we can write the definition. So here, so already we know the meaning. So after that, as a company means each and every business organization having some features, right? So on the same thing here, as a company means they have some features. So what are the features? Now we will discuss. So here the first feature of a company is legal entity. The first feature of a company is an legal entity. So here separate legal entity. So here which is a separate legal entity which is distinct and separate from its members. It is separate and distinct from its members. This is what first feature of a company. So each and every business organization they are having separate legal entity. The separate legal entity it is distinct and separate from its members. I mean shareholders. So this is what first feature of a company. And the same way the next feature. So here body corporate. Each and every business organization having body corporate. So here the body corporate generally Indian companies. Generally the Indian companies are formed and registered under the company's law only. So each and every business organization companies formed and registered as per the company's law. So this is what one of the very important feature of a company. The first one, so here the company is a separate from its members. The second one, body corporate. So here the body corporate generally the Indian companies are formed and registered as per the company's law. So the next feature of a company, so here limited liability. The next one, limited liability. The liability of members is limited only. So in the profit organization means on the time the liability this is what unlimited. But here the liability of members is limited to the extent of unpaid money. The liability of members is limited to the unpaid money of the shares held by them. Whatever the shares amount they are held, so that much of liability only they are having. So here the liability of members, this is what limited to the extent of whatever the shares are held by that members, held by the members of a company. And the third feature of a company is a limited liability of its members. Whatever the shares they are having, so they are responsible for that shares only. Suppose they are not they are failed to pay the such shares means on the time they are responsible only for the shares. So this is what third feature of a company. The first one, the company is separate from its members. The second one, body corporate. Each and every business organization they are formed as per the Indian Companies Act, as per the registered as well as formed as per the Indian Companies Law Act only. The next feature is a common seal. The common seal already we are discussed in that meaning only. The common seal, every company, each and every company, either institution or schools, whatever it may be, each and every company has its own seal. Without seal, they are not able to run the day-to-day business activity. Each and every company has its own seal, which acts as the official signature of the company. Whatever the seal using by the company on that seal, they are using as a official signature of the company. This is what one of the very important feature of a company. So these are the few features of a company. The first feature of a company, the liability, that it is separate from legal entity. It is separate from legal entity. Second one, this is what body corporate. Generally, Indian companies are formed as well as registered under the company's law. The third feature of a company, limited liability. The liability of members are limited to the extent of held by them. Whatever the shares held by them, that much of responsible only they are having in the business. The fourth and last feature of a company, so here common seal. So here every company having its own seal. Each and every company having its own seal. That seal they can use as a official signature of the company. Without this seal, they are not able to continue the business organization by the way of day-to-day business activities. So these are the few features of a company. So after that, so here already we are discussing what is the meaning of company, and the same way what are the various features of a company. The next concept, the next thing, kinds of a company. The next one, kinds of company. First of all, company is here. There are two kinds of company. The first one, on the basis of liability of its members. This is what first kind of company, on the basis of liability of its members. This is what first kind of company. So under that they have three kinds of company, three types of companies are available. We can see three different kinds of companies on the basis of liability of its members. First of all, kinds of companies, there are two kinds of companies. The first one, on the basis of liability of its members. The second one, on the basis of number of members. The first one, on the basis of liability of its members, and the second one, on the basis of number of members. So on that first one, on the basis of liability of its members, we can see three types of companies, three types of members. So here the first one, company limited by shares. Under the liability of its members, there are three types of companies. The first one, company limited by shares. This is what first one, company limited by shares. The second one, the company limited by guarantee. The second type of company, the company limited by guarantee. And the third one, unlimited companies. These are the three kinds of companies on the basis of liability of its members. So on the same way, there is a second kind of company on the basis of number of members. On the basis of number of members, we can see two types of companies. On the basis of number of its members, we can see two types of companies. The first one, public company. The first type of company, public company. Second one, private company. So here, public company and private company, these are the two types on the basis of number of its members. So first of all here, this is what very important questions as per one more question. So here, what is the minimum paid up capital in that public company? This is what one more question. So here, the minimum paid up capital of public company is 5 lakhs. Minimum we need to pay 5 lakhs rupees for the construction of a public company. This is what minimum paid up capital. So less than 5 lakhs, we are not able to form the public company. So here the minimum paid up capital of public company is rupees 5 lakhs. On the same way, so in the private company, minimum paid up capital is rupees 1 lakh. The minimum paid up capital is rupees only 1 lakh. So is there any 1 lakh rupees means easily we can form the private company. So here on the basis of number of its members there are two types of companies. One is public company and second one is private company. So in that public company the minimum paid up capital is 5 lakhs rupees. So on the same way in the private company the minimum paid up capital is rupees 1 lakh. These are two questions are very important as per the 1 mark question. What is the minimum paid up capital of a private company? On the same way, what is the minimum paid up capital in public company? These questions arise on 1 mark questions, either fill in the blanks or MCQ questions. So you have to remember these things. So here the public company means minimum paid up capital 5 lakhs. On the same way in the private company means the minimum paid up capital is 1 lakh rupees. So these are the various things. So what is a company and what are the various features of a company and what are the kinds of company? There are two kinds of company. So on the basis of number of liability of its members, on the basis of liability of its members. Second one on the basis of number of members. Under that we can see different types of companies. So on the basis of liability of members means we can see three types. Companies are limited by shares, companies are limited by guarantee and unlimited company. So on the same way on the basis of number of shares means on that time we can see two types of companies. Public company and private company. In that public company the minimum paid up capital is 5 lakhs rupees. In the private company, minimum paid up capital of rupees 1 lakh. These are very important and to remember. So after this, so these are the few necessary things we need to start the chapter. So now we need to start as a share. So here already they are formed the business organization. So at the time of formation of a company, we have different stages. Subscribed capital, authorized, first they need to subscribe the shares. Subscribed capital, authorized capital, paid up capital, called up capital, calcinarius. These are the various stages of a company for the collection of share capital from the public. So now we can discuss the share. First of all, as it joins the company means they need to issue a shares. So here, first of all, you can discuss the meaning of share. What is a share? So here, each and every company they need to issue shares for the collection of funds from the public. So before that process, first we need to know the meaning of a share. So here, the share is a share is a fractional part of the share capital. A share is a fractional part of the share capital. And forms the, so here the share is a fractional part of the share capital and forms the basis of ownership. Forms the basis of ownership in a company. So here, first of all, what is a share? The share is a fractional part of the share capital. Whatever the total share capital in the business, on the share capital, this is what fractional part of the share capital and forms the basis of ownership in a company. Forms the basis of ownership in a company. Those who are purchasing these shares, that persons they are as a owners in the company. They are the shareholders. They have rights to as the business organization. So here a share is a fractional part of the share capital and forms the basis of ownership in a company. So here the share is the maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller unit. So here in other words, the maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller units. Here, each unit is called as share. So here a share means the maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller unit. Each unit is called as a share. Suppose here 10,000 shares. Suppose example here 10,000 shares are divided into are 100 units. Here 10,000 shares are divided into 100 units. So here each unit is called as a share. The total number of shares are 100 shares. The cost price of each share 100 rupees. The maximum, this is not maximum amount of capital. The maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller units. Smaller units means 100 units. Each unit is called as shares. So in this company, the total number of shares are 100 shares. The cost price of each share is rupees 100 rupees only. So this is what share. A share is a maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller unit. Each unit is called share. So here the maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller unit. Each unit is called share. And here, first of all, here the shares means there are two types of shares. The company they can issue, there are two kinds of shares. The first one, types of shares means equity shares. The first one equity shares and second one preference shares. First of all, the shares can issue on the basis of two types. The first one equity shares and the second one preference shares. So here, first of all, here the preference shares means those shareholders are invested the capital, and the preference shares means the persons are having preferential rights to get an dividend at the end of the year. At the end of the year, whatever the dividends in the business, so they are having preferential rights to get and that dividend amount. But here equity shareholders, they don't have preferential rights to get the dividend amount. So here the preference shareholders are the first priority to get the dividend amount. So after that only we need to settle that equity shareholders balances, whatever the profits or dividends in the business organization. So this is what meaning of a share and types of shares. So meaning of a share means, once again, a share is a fractional part of the share capital and forms the basis of ownership in a company. It gives a ownership in a company, and the maximum amount of capital is divided into smaller unit. Each unit is called as share. The maximum amount of capital is divided into small unit. Each unit is called share. And under the shares, the company issued on the basis of two types. The first one equity shares and second one preference shares. In the equity shares, they do not have preferential rights to get the dividend at the end of the accounting period, but the preference shareholders, they are having preferential rights to get the dividend amount at the end of the accounting period. This is what types of a shares. Again, at the time of issue of shares in a business organization, issue of shares, they can issue on different types, different categories. So the shares might be, they can issue on the basis of three different categories. So at the time of issue of shares might be, they can issue at par. This is what first type of issue of shares. At par. Here, at par means nothing but equal to actual value of shares. Equal to actual value of shares. Suppose the value of shares rupees 100 each. The value of shares rupees 100 each. They can issue for rupees 100 only. The actual value of shares are 100 rupees, but they can issue rupees 100 only. This is what actual value of shares. Shares at par means equal to face value. Actual value means nothing but face value. Whatever the actual and original value of shares, that much of amount only we can collect from the public. This is what first situation of issue of a shares. The first one at par. The second one at premium. At premium is, at what situations they can issue the shares under the premium is when the company shares are user demand in the society. When the company shares are user demand in the society means on the day they can issue the shares more than the actual value of its shares. Suppose, for example, here the value of one share cost rupees 100 each, but they can issue at rupees 120. Here the one share value of rupees 100 each in a company, but they can issue to the public for 120 rupees. So compared to actual value, I mean face value, the value for each share value 20 rupees more than the actual price. So this is what premium amount. Premium means, so at what situation they can issue the shares on the basis of premium is when the company shares are user demand in the society. On the time that shares they can be issued on the basis of premium. The first one at par, second one at premium, and the next one, third way of issue of shares at discount. The next way of issue of shares at discount. So at what circumstance they can issue the shares on the basis of discount? Here the discount means when the company shares are lesser demand in the society. When the company shares are lesser demand in the society means on the time that shares they can issue on the basis of discount rates. For example, one share value actually 100 rupees each. Just we are taking examples. The value of one share cost rupees 100 each, but they can issue to the public for rupees 90 only. Here, when a company one share value of rupees 100 each means, but they can issue to the public for rupees 90 only. Here, the 90 rupees compared to actual value, they are issuing lesser than the actual value, right? What is the lesser? So 100 minus 90 rupees means 10 rupees. 100 minus 90, 10 rupees. This is what actual discount in this circumstance. So here, at what situation they can issue the shares on the basis of discount means when the company shares are lesser demand in the society means on the time they can issue that shares on the basis of discount. These are the three ways. These are the three ways of issue of a shares. The first way of issue of shares at par. At par means equal to face value. So in this situation, whatever the actual value of shares, that much of amount only they are collecting from the public. The second situation, the second way of company at premium. At premium, at what situation they can collect premium amount means when the company shares, when the companies, whatever the companies, when the company shares are user demand in the market, I mean society, on that time that companies they can collect more than its actual value. Actual value means nothing but face value, I mean original value. So they can collect more than its actual value of the shares. Suppose the value of one share rupees 100, but they are collecting from the public rupees 120 per share. This is what situation when the shares are issued at premium. The third one, shares are issued at discount. This is what third way of issue of share. The discount means here. So when the company shares are lesser demand in the market, I mean society, on the time on such shares they can issue less than the actual value of shares. Less than the actual value of its shares. Suppose the value of one share cost rupees, the face value of one share cost rupees 100, but they are issued rupees 90 only. Rupees 90 only. This is what situation when the companies are issued the shares on the basis of discount. So these are the different ways of issue of a shares. The next one, so actually the company they are issuing shares. So on the time, suppose when the shareholders are they are not able to pay the entire amount. So first of all, for that paid up capital we have different stages. For that application process, for that allotment process, first call, second call and final call. These are the various stages of collection of a amount from the public. Suppose here when the shareholders they are not able to pay the share capital. Suppose a person, A is a person. So actually they are purchased 10 shares. They are purchased 10 shares at a cost price of rupees 1000 rupees. A is a person. A purchased 10 shares at rupees 100 rupees. 100 rupees. Sorry, 1000 rupees. 1000 share. 1000. This is what maximum amount of capital. The number of shares are 10 shares. Means the value of each share rupees 100 each. So actually, in this person, they are purchasing 10 shares. The total amount of rupees 1000. So this is what maximum amount, total amount of share capital. Total amount of capital divided by number of shares. And then easily we can ascertain the total cost of each share. So here the 10 shares, each share cost rupees 100 each. Suppose in this person, A person, they are paid the application amount. At the time of application process, actually they are completed all the payment. As well as at the time of allotment of shares, and that process also they are completed. But again there are two more calls stages. So first call, after that second and final call. These are the various stages for the collection of subscription of capital from the public. Suppose here this person, I mean A person, they are failed to pay the share capital amount means. So on such circumstances, what can do the shares means? So here the person they are failed to pay 2 shares amount. So on that time, the company directors are decided to forfeit these shares, cancel these shares. Suppose here so when the shareholders are failed to pay, the allotment amount, of money or call money or any of them. So here when the shareholders are failed to pay the allotment money or call money or any of them, so on such shares they can forfeit Forfeit means nothing but, forfeiture of shares means nothing but cancellation of that shares. Cancellation of that shares. So here, this is what very important thing. What is forfeiture of shares means? Cancellation of shareholder rights. Cancellation of shareholder rights for the non-payment of. So this is what very important question as per the annual examination point of view. So if you go the 2019 as well as 2020 annual examination same question they asked in the chapter. So forfeiture of shares means when the shareholders they are failed to pay. When the shareholders are failed to pay, so on such shares they can cancel it. So here forfeiture of shares means nothing but cancellation of shareholder rights. Cancellation of shareholder rights for the non-payment of allotment or call money or any of them. So that shares can be forfeit. This is what very important question you have to remember. Forfeiture of shares. Forfeiture of shares means when the shareholders are failed to pay and such circumstance that shares can be forfeited. So this is what various concepts in the accounting for share capital. So in the next session we will start the journal entries are related to 12 mark question. So thank you students.